Welcome back. Today we're going to learn a barbell clean or Olympic weightlifting clean. The bar is received in the clean in a front squat rack position. So Mike Ng is going to be showing us how to clean today. Mike's going to pop this bar up on his shoulders. Notice his shoulders are up, driving into the bar, creating a nice solid rack position. So the bar is not in his hands. Could you prove that to us, Mike? It's really not in his hands. So if you don't have a solid rack position, then it's necessary to spend a bulk of your training time working on that before you hope to get better at the clean. So the clean itself is performed from what we call the high hang position. Mike's going to grab the bar and bring it up to high hang, which the hips are almost extended, but he still has the top part of his hip extension available to him. What he's going to do is drive up with his hips with so much power that he can receive the bar on his shoulders. Go ahead and power clean it. Yeah. So a good tool to develop the power to get the bar up high enough is what we call a jump shrug. Mike's going to extend his hips hard and finish that motion through, or follow through with that motion with a nice shrug. So that jump shrug, receiving the bar in the rack position, is a power clean. And a perfect power clean, you end with the standing upright, standing erect. All right, so one more power clean, Mike. From the high hang, power clean. Either no or very little rebending of the knees. He drove the bar up with enough power to just receive it on his shoulders. The full Olympic weightlifting clean, though, brings the bar from the floor. So as we develop our bigger range of motion, we're going to extend down from the high hang position to what we call a mid hang. So Mike will pick the bar up again, and from standing position he's going to flex his hips, push his hips back so the bar is about knee height. This is what we call a mid hang. From here Mike's going to transition to the high hang and then clean. All right. This transition from mid hang to high hang is a process of getting the bar into position. The real explosive motion doesn't happen until we get to the high hang. Sometimes that's referred to as the pockets position. Right? So as your training is evolving, you start with a powerful hip extension from the high hang position to develop your power clean. Then you start taking the bar from mid hang to high hang, and finally you're going to bring your movement down all the way down to the ground. Take the bar from the ground to mid hang to high hang to a clean or power clean. Ground, mid hang, high hang, clean. And of course, over time, as you practice, as you train with this, you blend these motions together until it becomes one smooth, powerful motion. Remember though that pulling the bar from the floor is not where you start your explosive motion. Pulling the bar from the mid hang is not where you start your explosive motion. Those early parts of the movement are getting the bar into position, finally getting to the high hang and ready in position to jump or violently extend your hips, and that's where the power comes from. And if the bar is heavy or if fatigue is building, you often have to drop down to get under the bar into a receiving position. So Mike's now going to start rebending his knees and hips, pulling himself under the bar and receiving a little bit lower. And this is how you train this. In your training, you start with a sufficiently light weight that you're able to build a power clean with no rebending. And then in your training, you start practicing receiving the bar lower and lower and lower and lower. Over time, you want to develop the ability to receive the bar in a full squat. All right, setting up for a barbell clean, taking the position from the ground or taking this movement from the ground, it's really similar to a a deadlift setup from the ground. So Mike has his feet under his hips, pretty much parallel, fairly close to parallel. The bar is really close to him. You don't want the bar to get out away from you. You're not going to protect your knees by creating some space here. That's a sloppy setup that'll pull you out of balance. He's actually pulling the bar against his shin. And notice how far back the hips are. His weight is loaded way on his heels right now. You want to be on your heels. And as you start to bring the bar up from the ground toward this mid-hang position, he actually moved his hips further back. He's really loading the muscles on his backside. Notice this terrific stability in his low back. There's no flexing there going on at all. Continuing the motion further up, there's actually a little bit of a shift underneath the bar is one way to think of it. We might use the word scoop, but what he's really doing is getting his shoulders over the bar in position to, when he finally makes his powerful hip extension, he wants to go straight up. Don't want to waste any time or energy driving hips forward. There's no bumping the bar forward. It's a straight up motion at the end. And again, taking the bar from the floor, everything is geared toward getting into the right position at the high hang for the powerful hip extension, for the jump. So from the floor, he's on his heels, hips back, shoulders are set, and he's driving through his heels to the mid hang. Again, notice the hips actually moving, hips and knees both actually moving back. Then there's a little bit of a scooping action, pulling his upper body up more into an erect or upright posture. And now he's ready to drive this bar straight up, right? So again, remember the whole point of a clean and the power of a clean comes from this last hip extension, which is very violent, very quick, and it needs to be straight up. Any kind of swinging out or bumping forward is going to interfere with your goal here. So one of the defining characteristics of Olympic clean, if you're a beginner especially, is that it's not a curl. It's not a power curl. There's no swinging out wide of the bar at all. We're not using your arms to lift the bar. So what that means in practice is that the barbell stays close to your body as it comes up and you maybe are coming down next to the bar. The elbows are rotating around the bar to get you into the receiving position. You're not swinging the bar out around your elbows to bring it up to your shoulders. Another point here, for more experienced lifters, you'll likely be aware that there's a difference between a muscle clean and a power clean. Muscle clean is driving up so hard that you just stand erect to receive the bar on your shoulders. Power clean involves a little bit of rebending to get under the bar and is better overall practice for clean technique. In the beginning though, don't worry about any of that. Just drive your hips up hard and drive that bar up onto your shoulders.